Welcome. You are listening to the tour where we cover every aspect, all aspects of the music industry on the Sister Speak Show. The Sister Speak Show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action. A talk show for great minds that create, inspire, impact, and evolve. Sister, spiritual inspiration shared through the arts. Sister, spiritual inspiration shared through Ayana, but you better call me Sister Speak. What's poppin', y'all? It's 9:48 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'm recording from Dallas, Texas, and it is a joy divine to be able to get back on this microphone again and be able to converse with you all and bring you a fresh episode, okay, on our one of my popular segments, the tour. Tonight's episode, pressing charges, sexual assault allegations in the music industry, a cautionary tale about fame. Oh, yeah, brothers and sisters. I want you all to get ready because this is going to be a lit episode. That's the only thing that I want to be able to provide for you all since you are listening. Since you all are listening from all over the world, I want to thank you all so much for your downloads, for sharing, for just doing everything that you can to push the movement of the Sister Speak Show Network. I thank you so much. Welcome to my first time listeners. Okay, welcome back to my faithful listeners, to my first time listeners. Check this in. The Sister Speak Show Network is rated R for strong language, thoughts, and ideas. You're going to need two things when you listen to the Sister Speak Show. You're going to always need water and scuba gear. Water because that is the only way that your body will be able to function, to go. We want you to be healed. We want you to be clean. We don't want you to be dehydrated, and your body is made up of 75 to 95% of water, so it would do you some good. They say milk does the body good. Being redeemed does the body good. Come on, somebody, and definitely water. But also scuba gear, self-contained, underwater, breathing apparatus, because we dive deep on the Sister Speak Show Network. We have bold conversations, bold topics, and we're going to need you to be able to keep up because we go to depths in the sea, some different leagues in the sea. And also, the Sister Speak Show Network is about the village. It is about being pro-village, pro-Yah, pro-Most High God, pro-12 tribes of Israel, pro-solution for the pollutions, panaceas, remedies to fix the village because the village is in peril. It is in lava. And one thing that is crucial when you listen to the Sister Speak Show is that you need to be a warrior or a warrior in the making, okay? We don't do Skeletors, we don't do Hagathas, we don't do Gargamels, we don't do wartmongers, we don't do haters. But we know y'all listen. But whatever. That's not the energy that we have. We return to sender all negative all spell work, all voodoo, all black magic, all evil eye magic. We don't play those games over here. Okay? So whenever if you're listening to the Sister Speak Show in a low vibration, you will find out that we don't play those games over here. It's about a high vibration. It is about a healing journey for the Sister Speak Show and my listeners. Okay, brothers and sisters, this is what we're going to have to do because it was icy. When I say it was icy, y'all, icy snowed in, like, go on the streets at your own risk type situations. But what I am going to have on is, y'all might have to hear it, is I'm going to have my fan on. Not my fan, but my space heater on. Because I'm in my other booth, and there's no air system flowing through here except for the one that I have to bring in through here. So, y'all, I'm just telling you. Hold on. Let me do this. Hold on. Okay, y'all. It's the wintertime. Nose running. Gotta snort. Gotta do all kind of stuff just to get your whole life together during this season. Got the I don't know if that's the ambulance, the police. I don't know what that is. I just know that the energy is just really something else. Moving forward, brothers and sisters. Okay, I think I can make it with this. Okay. Listen to that. Y'all hear that? It's a cautionary tale about fame on the Sister Speak Show on the tour. Right on time. Right on time. But anyway, y'all, burrific, right? And so, with the weather looking like it has been and everybody... it's always somebody that won't get out the way. You hear the sirens, you see the lights, but still you don't think that you need to move. And then you have to hear the loud ass horn coming from the I think that's a fire truck. I don't know, but whatever. I don't want no parts of it. Return to sender. But anyway, it's been so cold, and it's like, you think that your battery is just not going to cut on because how low the temperatures drop, but mine started. I was really excited about that. Anyway, but I definitely was going 2 miles an hour. I don't care who flips me off. Let me explain something to you. I'm not wrecking because you think I'm not going at the pace you think I'm supposed to go. Go the F around. That's my motto. Moving forward, brothers and sisters. Okay, let's get into it. Pressing charges, sexual assault allegations in the music industry. A cautionary tale about fame. I have some excellent clips for you all tonight that are for fair use based on the Fair Use Act of 1976 just to raise awareness, to raise education about sexual assault, the allegations in the music industry, and how you have to be careful when it comes to being famous. What all comes with fame, yet and still another cautionary tale. But this one is, you have to be very careful when you converse about it because we're talking about allegations, and then we're talking about lining the allegations up and coming up with your own opinion or conclusion on it. You listen to music, I listen to music. We know these names that I'm going to play for you. We have listened to several different groups and individuals who are in the industry. And if we just keep it 100, we know that we don't know everything about them. We don't know what they do in their private life. We don't know what their preferences are, what their fantasies are. What we do know is that they have access to excess. And for some of them, there are the riches, and because of the riches, it brings the alleged bitches. Just rhyming, work with me. So, when you are in an industry where you are allegedly having it your way, you know, and I know, that there is an attraction to that status, that jewelry set, the cars, who they know, who they're in the studio with, the way they dress, everything is appealing to a specific group of women and men. Oh, just because you see a woman on the flyer, just because you see a woman on the episode cover, that doesn't mean that we're not going to cover you men as well. Okay, but moving forward, the sexual allegations in the music industry, it's like it almost just comes with the career. But that does not necessarily mean that these allegations are not true. And it does not mean that all of these allegations are not true. I mean, are fiction, are false, rather, That was a brain fart. So you have a scale here. And because money can buy your way, especially when you have a lot of it, it can buy your way and can give you a pass. Whereas the normal person with a normal income, regular income, may not be able to get those type of breaks. Their money doesn't speak the language of turn a blind eye or drop the charges or settle out of court. So there is a caste system. In this industry, there is this attraction to the famous person, the celebrity, the music artist. And people want to be there. They want to be in their presence. They want to be a part of the entourage. And they want to be their lady or man. And there are some people who groom themselves to put themselves in a position to meet and to be a part of the scene, the energy. Couple that with the energy that's already being put out through the music. I mean, you have all of the ingredients that can create sexual assault allegations in the music industry. And I'm not here per se to say that the alleged victims are lying or not. I'm not here to say that the alleged celebrities did it or not. We're just going to state facts, allegedly. And we are going to listen. But one thing is for sure, this is a cautionary tale about fame. This is a cautionary tale about enter at your own risk. Do you know what you're doing when you groom yourself to be a part of the music industry? And it's not even, and we're talking about leeching on or guiding your way through to try to get to the top. And there are women who go from celebrity to celebrity to celebrity. Men too. And there are several instances why a sexual assault allegation manifests. One, because it really happened. Two, because it didn't happen. Three, because there are, how can I say it? There is a mixture of a little bit of both. Maybe not being able to get your way after the encounter. Blackmail. There's so many different forms, reasons why a sexual assault allegation manifests. And we're gonna get into it tonight on the tour where we cover all aspects of the music industry. Are you all ready? Now listen. What I don't want you to do is sit there and be like, oh no, that's my favorite singer. He didn't do it. No, for real. No. No, not my baby daddy. See, some of you are so quick to call these men your baby daddies. And you have no idea who they really are. And there's some people who will do anything to be in bed with a celebrity. Are you that type of human? Are you that type of person? Sister, brother, I'm just asking. You know, there are people who idolize these celebrities and will do anything to lay with them. Look at the track record. Look at the lineages of baby mamas and children that are being born and semi-abandoned by these entertainers. Look at everything that goes on. They can have their pick of the litter. And I'm not to say that, but they can have their pick. And trying to trap one of these men or trying to be the wife of one of these men, that's on you. But you should know better. They're not in the position to occupy that space. As a husband, they are whoremongers until they change. But some of your favorite singers are on, some of your favorite music artists are on these clips. So you might as well, prepare yourself for the allegations because there is sexual assault that goes on. There is hush money. There are victims. There are victims who never have come forward. There are victims who have disappeared. Okay? It goes deep. Why? Because we know who is in the music industry. We know who is running in there. We know the devil himself is in there. And so we're not going to pretend like it's all cotton candy. It's not. It's not. It's an enter at your own risk situation. But yet and still, upon entering at your own risk, Does that mean that if a male or female is sexually assaulted, that it is okay, that that is what they deserve because they entered at their own risk? Does the devastation of what a sexual assault can do to someone, does that take a back seat because this is your favorite artist, or because they have the power to make it go away with their money or their influence, because their lawyer knows how to do some great lying? Is it because they did some type of spell work or voodoo to make it go away? Always think. That's why I said you need scuba gear. You can't have a one track mind, not listening to this podcast. This wouldn't be the podcast for you to listen to if you have a one track mind. We're going to expose thinking and thoughts, and how when you think and you use wisdom and discernment, you begin to look at situations from a different perspective that is solid. You don't give a pass just because you have twerked to their music. Oh, girl, please. I be twerking to his music all the time. He ain't do shit. He ain't do shit. Shit, that bitch lying. That bitch lying. We are so quick to say that that bitch lying, but how the fuck do you really know, though? Were you there is always one of the first questions that would kind of put a pause in a conversation. But if you're talking to somebody that's ignorant, it's like, don't even waste your breath. But let's just be real. Were we there? We weren't there. That's why we have to deduct and do deductive reasoning to come to an astute conclusion, a wise conclusion about these allegations and sexual assault, because sexual assault is not funny. It is dangerous. It breaks your entire stability. It can damage you mentally. It leaves you wounded, injured, developing afflictions. There are a lot of side effects based on sexual assault. And sexual assault that occurs after drugging someone. We're talking about people using pills, allegedly, to drug people to get a head start on the assault. What about that? That's not right. We live in a society, well, in this world, people are kind of like, if it doesn't happen to me, it doesn't matter. But then when it happens to me, I need a GoFundMe page. Fuck you. Fuck you. You need to be for the village in totality. It can't be that you get a GoFundMe page after it happens to you and your family. No, fuck that. Set a GoFundMe page for the victim. Show the village love. That's what it's about. Like this this world and some of our people in the village are extremely ignorant in their thinking, if that's what you call thinking. And we are quick to, in the village, say things and do things that are dumb as fuck, and just make me not even want to have a conversation, because I'm not going to waste my time with dumb energy. I just don't do dumb in any way, shape, or form. I'm allergic to that. So, we can't sit here and dumb down sexual assault. Too many of our sisters are quick to say that a sister is lying about sexual assault, and we need to stop that bullshit. I don't know what it is about our sisters. Our sisters are suffering from some mild retardation, some of them. It has to be because of the energy, the action behind the energy with the action, and the words that come out. It's just like, damn, the conflict, the aggression, and then it's like, why are we so insensitive to sexual assault of any nature in our community? Of any nature, but I'm going to stick to topic. In the sexual assault in the music industry, the hush hush assault, sexual assaults, the ones that make it to the news. Why are our sisters so quick to say that that shit didn't happen? And then how do you feel when it turns out that it really did happen? Are you as vocal? Do you come back around and say, my bad, I take accountability for, speaking out of turn, speaking without empathy, speaking without wisdom, speaking without a high vibration? Or do you just sit there and be indignant and arrogant? I have an issue with anybody who doesn't know how to take accountability for their actions and have enough decency to apologize and correct the mistake with an honest, redeemed recognition of, damn, I shouldn't have said that. I was wrong for that. My bad. But too many people want to stand on what they say even though they're standing on quicksand. Too many people don't want to be wrong. When it comes to sexual assault, our people do not cut our people a break when it comes to what has happened to them and the victimization that they have encountered, whether it be now, whether it be in their primary age, in their teens, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, all the way up. Our people love to shun and shut up victims of sexual assault. And some of you come from homes where that has happened in your home, or families that do that, where the victim is left and made to be a pariah while the predator, the one who does the sexual assault, is praised and protected. You ass backwards mother, ass backwards, evil, 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 evil energy, evil, nasty fucking energy. And I hate that energy. I return to sender that energy because it is plaguing our communities worldwide so much that even in the music industry, you're silenced. And when you come out, you're threatened, mocked. The comments under the post, the comments. It's the comments. There's a time to laugh and joke in the comments and play games, and you enter to some chats and whatever, and but yet and still we're talking about some real shit right here where you got to know how to say, okay, I need to pull out of that, because that right there, I don't want to get that energy to, especially when it can happen to you. There's not one person listening to this that cannot, who is invincible and who is not susceptible to being preyed upon. And you don't know what you would do in a sexual assault until it happens. And we don't even want that to happen, but it does. So you don't know what you would do. You can take as many self-defense classes as you want to. That gives you a leg up. We have the angels and the ancestors and everything, but we're talking about literally, you don't know what you would do, especially if somebody drugs you. If somebody slips you something. People are so crafty with the way they want to inject. You don't know who you are around. But if you are an attractive woman, and if you have any type of energy about you, you're susceptible. And if you are, and I got to keep it real, if you are got that Jezebel spirit, and if you are always putting yourself in a low vibrating energy to where men have no respect for you because you have none for yourself, and if you are sometimes dressed in a way, these are ingredients that can lead to a sexual assault. I'm not going to pussyfoot around that. The way you dress sometimes can lead to more attention coming to you than you can handle. And if you are a woman in heels, and if you're in an outfit that is causing men to lust after you, it's so easy to knock you off of your feet and take advantage of you. And then if you are looking for somebody to buy you some drinks, and girl, they buy me drinks because you're just trying to live this reality TV lifestyle, it's easy to slip you one, and then there you have it. It can happen just like that. It's not, oh, they're stupid or this, that, and the third. It's literally like these women are literally putting themselves in positions sometimes to bring that energy upon them. And you have to stand your ground and fight back. However, being overpowered, what will you do? And I can only imagine for the women who really were sexually assaulted, have been sexually assaulted, what the fuck? Like, I've had to fight somebody up off of me before. Okay? I've seen somebody literally, their face turn a certain way because I said no. When you are fighting someone's sexual advances because you don't want them, or you didn't come over for that, but that's what was on their mind, it's a whole nother game. It's a whole nother ball game. Brothers and sisters, I'll be right back after this commercial break. This is a serious topic. There are ingredients that lead up to these sexual assaults. Unbalanced energies, power, status, everything that we talked about. We're going to get into it. I thank you for listening to the Sister Speak Show. You're listening to the tour where we cover all aspects of the music industry. I'll be right back after these commercial breaks. What's the point of putting on a bonnet if it's not going to stay on my head? I'm tired of it slipping off and waking up to it the next day. There has to be a better bonnet for me that's stylish and stays on. Oh, child. Ooh, it's the pillow for me. I'm just glad to sleep pretty. This last shift took me all the way out.
I'm gonna get a bonnet tomorrow. I can't wait. I'm gonna ask Mommy if I can get one for my bear too, just as soon as I wake up from my nap.
It's time to sleep pretty and protected with these stylish Mommy and Me bonnets available now at kklachey.com. These Mommy and Me bonnets are available in stock and ready for you to maintain your crown. KK Lachey is a look, feel, and vibe. You're able to shop these products and more when you go to the website. It's time to shop and chill with kklachey.com.
Have you ever said something funny to someone and they responded with, you know what, I really needed that laugh? Well, that's what the Laugh Line is all about on the Sister Speak Show, and the latest episode is available on demand now, rated R for strong language and content. On this episode, we're covering Respect the Comedian. Was the late Paul Mooney the black sheep of comedy? And Naturally Funny, rapper Plies. On the Laugh Line, we cover all aspects of comedy, classic and contemporary comedy audio clips, special guest comedians, comedy show reviews. You will not be disappointed, and you will definitely get the healing that your soul needs. On the Sister Speak Show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action, a talk show for great minds that create, inspire, impact, and evolve. Click the link for the latest episode and get ready to have a good time, because it's time to podcast and chill. When it comes to being a rap lyricist, what sets you apart is your ability to be able to freestyle on demand. If you can't freestyle, you can't rap. The latest episode of the tour on the Sister Speak Show is available on demand now. In this episode, beatdowns versus bars, when freestyle battles turn violent. Rated R for strong content and language. On the tour, we cover all aspects of the music industry, focusing on musicians, managers, songwriters, producers, music groups, DJs, with exclusive music as well as concert reviews and IG Live concerts and interviews. On the Sister Speak Show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action. A talk show for great minds that create, inspire, impact, and evolve. Go ahead and click the link for the latest episode.
The Praying Pastor. Demonic activity, murder, and ministry on the Suspense Files on the Sister Speak Show. It's available on demand now. Rated R for strong language, thoughts, and ideas. Welcome back. You are listening to the Sister Speak Show. You're listening to the tour where we cover all aspects of the music industry. I'm your host, Sister Speak. I know. It's one of those topics. But you know what I know? My brothers, I know y'all like listening to the tour. I know y'all listen to this tour especially. And y'all know, I know that you all feel where I'm coming from. And I know my sisters do listen to the tour as well. And you feel where I'm coming from. I'm just keeping it 100 with you all. That's the only way I know how to do it. This is a cautionary tale about fame. Enter at your own risk. But sexual assault allegations in the music industry is a topic that we will be discussing tonight. And without further ado, let me explain to you something. Another reason why I'm so excited to go ahead and play this is because I can run my space heater now. Oh, I'm not playing any games with y'all. Oh, I hope that did not pick up on the microphone, y'all. I'm trying to not have my microphone rub. Sorry, y'all. But y'all used to it, right? Don't get used to that. Don't get used to that technicality. That's not a good thing. That technical difficulty at all. Anyway, brothers and sisters, moving forward, let's do this. Let's be true to this. And let's listen with an open mind, okay, brothers and sisters? These clips are for fair use, based on the Fair Use Act of 1976. We're going to get into it. Pressing charges, sexual assault allegations in the music industry. A cautionary tale about fame. Let's get it. Let's go. I'll see you on the other side of these clips.
A North Texas-based rapper is in jail this afternoon. 30-year-old Yella Beezy is in the Collin County Jail. His legal name is Marquise DeAndre Conway. We know that he was arrested in Plano, but are waiting to confirm the exact charges. TMZ is reporting that he's facing 3 charges: felony sexual assault, felony abandoned endangered child, and misdemeanor unlawful carrying a weapon. 3 years ago, he was shot 3 times while on the Sam Rayburn Tollway in Louisville. That rapper told a New York radio show that he was on his way home from the nightclub.
Does it make sense? The LAPD investigating rapper T.I., 2 women, one in Los Angeles and one in Las Vegas, accusing T.I. and his wife Tiny of drugging and sexually assaulting them more than a decade ago. Now, the LAPD confirmed to NBC News that they are investigating T.I., but would not say if it was over those particular allegations. The LAPD says it's not currently investigating Tiny. The couple has not been charged with any crimes, and they deny all previous allegations of misconduct. NBC News Now correspondent Simone, I'm sorry, my friend, joins me now. Simone, NBC News obtained the police reports that these 2 women filed in the past 2 months. What do those reports say specifically here?
Well, Allison, let's start with that report that was filed in Los Angeles. The alleged victim says that she had an encounter with T.I. and Tiny, that she met them at a club back in 2005. And she says that's where Tiny offered her a drink. She says that she later went to a hotel with the couple and they asked her to engage in sexual acts. She says that she began to feel sick and she threw up at that hotel room. And she says that she essentially blacked out, and she woke up the next morning, didn't know what happened, but she says that she woke up with sore genitals. And she believes that what happened here is that.
Wait a minute. Okay, hold up. Now, normally I like to let the clips play. Sore genitals? What's going on? Allegedly, wait a minute. You're waking up with sore genitals? You felt sick, threw up. Next thing you know, you woke up with sore genitals. Okay, I'm just saying, this is, woo. Can you imagine waking up with sore genitals? That's a lot. I don't want to wake up with sore genitals. Let's go ahead. Come on, I'm just saying.
That Tiny drugged her. So that is the allegation that we're hearing out of Los Angeles. Now, the report that we're hearing out of Vegas is actually quite similar. It follows a similar pattern here. Now, this accuser says that she met Tiny at an airport, and that's where Tiny asked her to come hang out with her and her husband later that evening. She says that Tiny offered her a drink that made her feel very disoriented, and that the couple also offered her drugs. Now, this alleged victim says that she did engage in sexual acts with the couple, but that she was not sober enough to consent at that time. And she also says that T.I. forced
You know, pay attention to being mesmerized by the status of who they're being approached by. She slept with both of them allegedly, but there's a concoction. What's in this concoction, Tiny? Allegedly. What's in the concoction? What's going on allegedly? This isn't sounding good. This isn't sounding healthy. This is sounding rather pressed.
her to perform sexual acts in other cities as well. But the difference here between the LA report and the Vegas report is that the one that was filed in Las Vegas was filed outside of the boundaries of the statute of limitation there.
So, Simone, those are some pretty serious allegations. What are Tiny and T.I.'s lawyers saying about them?
Well, as you mentioned at the top of this piece, Allison, they have not been charged with any crimes yet, and T.I. himself has taken to social media to vigorously deny these allegations and say that anything that has taken place sexually within the context of their relationship has taken place with consenting adults. But we have gotten a statement from the attorney who is representing the couple, and here's what that statement says, that, quote, the Harrises have not spoken to or been contacted by the Los Angeles Police Department, the Las Vegas Police Department, or indeed any member of law enforcement from any other jurisdiction in the country.
And attorney Tyrone Blackburn is representing both women that we're talking about here. He's also representing a man and 10 other women with claims against T.I. and Tiny. What can you tell us there?
Well, with the exception of a couple of cases, they all follow this strikingly similar pattern of behavior, of alleged behavior on behalf of T.I. and Tiny. Many of these alleged victims say that Tiny offered them drugs, offered them a drink that they believe was spiked, and that they couldn't remember anything about what happened after they got to a hotel room.
Tiny, are you putting Suge Avery pee in these potions? Let me find out you putting some Suge Avery pee in these drinks. I'm just saying.
And a lot of them say that they woke up the next morning with sore or bleeding genitals. So just some really disturbing.
Wait a minute. Now see, now this is going a little bit too, was already far. It's very far. It's in the lava. Bleeding genitals?
Allegations here. We did hear some more from Tyrone Blackburn, like you mentioned, the attorney who is representing the majority of these alleged victims, and he says that he is pleased with what he's seeing, the action that he's seeing from the LAPD, and he also added this, quote, "The protection and safety of these women are my biggest priority."
Simone, disturbing allegations indeed. We know the LAPD is investigating. We're not exactly sure what, but hopefully we'll get some more information soon. In the meantime, thank you so much for your reporting.
French police just released Grammy Award-winning singer Chris Brown after they arrested him on a rape allegation. Police took Brown into custody Monday after a 24-year-old woman filed a rape complaint. The woman says she met Brown at a nightclub during Paris Fashion Week and went back to his hotel where the alleged rape occurred. After his release, Brown sent out an Instagram post calling the accusation false, also writing, "For my daughter and my family, this is so disrespectful."
Ladies, sisters, you know that they don't want to be your boyfriend, right? They don't want to be your boyfriend. This is a one-night stand. I don't know what you're telling yourself, but this is nothing more than that. And you need to understand that. I mesmerized yet again because allegedly if this happened and Chris Breezy invites you back to the hotel, in your mind you're saying, I cannot tell him no because Chris Brown wants me. Chris Brown wants me. Now this is not the victim's voice I'm saying because I'm going to leave her. This is just in general. Chris Brown wants me to come back to his hotel, or any celebrity. Oh my gosh. He wants me, and the word no suddenly has never ever been a part of your vocabulary. There's a power that comes from saying no and from turning down someone in a position of power like that graciously, with wisdom, but you don't have to go back to the hotel room is what I'm saying. You don't have to go back. You have an option not to go. Because if you do go, you're not going there to play Yahtzee, dominoes. You're not there to talk about your childhood. You're there to bust it wide open. Act like you know. And that's just what it is. That's just the rules of the game. They don't foreplay. Make out. No. Bust it wide open. That's what it's about. I don't know if you're looking for romance, but you're not. That's not what this stop is about. When you got off at this stop, this was the busted wide open stop. And it's never going to be anything more than that. Never. This is an enter at your own risk situation.
Respectful and is against my character and morals.
After being sued for allegedly drugging and raping a woman on a yacht. In court documents obtained by E! News, the 32-year-old singer is being sued by a woman identified only as Jane Doe, who alleges that she was drugged and raped by Brown on a yacht that was docked near Diddy's Florida home on December 30th of 2020. Amid the allegations,
Docked near whose house? Okay. It's always some take that type stuff happening. Wait a minute now. Docked, the yacht was by whose house?
Brown sends a message to followers on his Instagram story calling out what he believes is a lie, saying, I hope y'all see this pattern of cap emoji. Whenever I'm releasing music or projects, they try to pull some real bullshit. E! News reached out to Brown's manager as well as a lawyer that has previously represented him for comment but did not hear back. According to the court filing, the woman, who was described as a professional choreographer, dancer, model, and musical artist in the suit, was invited to the yacht by Brown during a FaceTime call she was having with a friend who was also aboard the ship. She claims that Brown grabbed the phone and told her that he had heard about her music and urged her to head over to Diddy's home on Star Island as soon as possible. Upon arrival, the woman alleges that Brown took her to the boat's kitchen and gave her a red cup with a...
Damn. Upon arrival? Ma'am, I hope you didn't hit anybody in the crosswalk getting to the island. Come over. I'm already here. Wait. No, I knew you would ask me to come, so I teleported. I thought it would be better and save on gas if I teleported over here because you're Chris Brown and you called me. I'm here already. No, I'm here. Did you park the car? No, I told you I teleported. Damn. How fast were you going? Is the keys still in the car? Did you take the seatbelt off? I hope you didn't wear the seatbelt into the party. Ma'am, you still got your seatbelt on. No, it's my purse. It's Gucci. I'm just saying, how Andale. Yeah, you was on some Speedy Gonzales. Like, shit. Usain Bolt, Flojo, slow down. You need to get over here right now. I'm here already.
mixed drink. The woman claims Brown then offered her tips about starting a career in the music industry before filling her cup for a second time, after which she began to feel a sudden unexplained change in consciousness. She says in the suit that she felt disoriented, physically unstable, and started to fall in and out of sleep. At that time, the woman alleges in the complaint, Brown took her to a bedroom and raped her. She claims that the R&B star ignored her pleas to stop and barred her attempts to leave the room. The lawsuit claims the woman suffered substantial continuing and permanent injuries as a result of the alleged sexual assault. She is seeking $20 million for severe emotional distress, physical...
$28 million for emotional distress. And the other alleged effects of the alleged sexual assault that took place. $28 million.
manifestations of emotional distress, emotional anguish, fear, anxiety, humiliation, depression, and other physical and emotional injuries and damages, both economic and non-economic, stemming from Brown's alleged conduct. Attorneys representing the woman, George Rayback and Ariel Mitchell, told E! News in a statement, "This is truly a horrific story. Our client will get justice regardless of what it takes, the justice that all victims of sexual assault deserve." An owner for the yacht was not listed in the suit. A representative for Diddy had no comment.
Nelly was arrested for alleged sexual assault. ET has learned that the 42-year-old rapper was taken into custody early Saturday morning for allegedly sexually assaulting a woman on his tour bus in Washington. According to a press release issued by the Auburn Police Department, the alleged incident happened just hours after Nelly performed at the White River Amphitheater. In a statement to ET, Nelly's lawyer says the allegations are completely fabricated. Quote, "Our initial investigation clearly establishes this allegation is devoid of credibility and is motivated by greed and vindictiveness." Adding that once the accusations are thoroughly investigated, he is confident there will be no charges. Nelly also took to Twitter to share his side of the story and apologize to his loved ones for the embarrassment, writing, "I am completely innocent."
Sisters, let me explain something to you just real quick before we hear what else Nelly has to say, Cornell has to say. When you get on the tour bus, you're not going on the whole tour with them. You do know that, right? Let me explain something to y'all. My comedy is separate from the sexual allegations. I'm going to deliver it how I need to deliver it. Ladies, sisters, if you are on a tour bus, like I said, you know you're not going on the whole tour, right? You know it's not we going to the next city. It's not we going on stage, we going back to the hotel. No. Let me explain something to you. That when you put yourself on the tour bus, you are at their disposal. You're at their power. You're at their beck and call. And if you do not perform according to how they want you to perform, you will. Ain't no won't. Won't ain't even in the picture. You will, in fact, be put off the bus. You do know that, right? See, there's a movie called Get on the Bus. There's also a movie called Get off the bus. And you're going to have to get off the bus. You do know that, right? It's best that you have a friend that's driving behind the bus. I know she couldn't get on. Buy her something to eat from Waffle House when you get kicked off. Because you're probably going to get kicked off near a Waffle House. And you need a friend behind you that will be able to get you from the side of the road when they put you off. I'm just saying, though, because you're at their beck and call. And can you imagine being on a bus thinking that it's going to go one way, and only way you can stay on the bus is if you do the whole bus, including the bus driver, and you know he's a booger wolf. Half the crew is booger wolves. And that's not what you thought that you was coming for, but that's what it is. Or get off. And you're humiliated. I'm just saying. I'm not saying that's what happened on this particular tour bus, but there are tour bus stories where girls have had to call hoping they get a signal, because it's hard to get a signal in the cornfields.
Later shared, "To be absolutely clear, I have not been charged with a crime. Therefore, no bail was required. I was released pending further investigation." The singer is currently on tour with Florida Georgia Line.
Police in China said they have detained a 30-year-old Canadian man surnamed Wu on suspicion of committing rape, with state media identifying him as Chinese-born pop singer Chris Wu. Wu was being investigated over accusations made online of tricking young girls into having sex with him, according to a statement.
Can you woo woo woo? Better be careful. Sometimes you can't woo woo woo.
By police in the Chaoyang district of the Chinese capital Beijing late on Saturday. Wu was publicly accused last month by an 18-year-old Chinese student of inducing her and other girls, some of them under the age of 18, to have sex with him. The student told Chinese media last month that Wu had lured her into having sex when she was 17 after plying her with liquor. A police statement last month said the student was invited by Wu's team to his house for casting in music videos. Wu has previously denied the accusation and was not immediately contacted on Sunday. Wu's studio did not immediately respond to a request for comment. His law firm did not answer calls. The Canadian Embassy in Beijing did not immediately respond to an emailed request for comment. It was not immediately clear whether Wu's arrest was linked to the student who made the accusations in July. Wu made his Hollywood debut in the 2017 sci-fi film, XXX, Return of Xander Cage, and was previously
XXX, which is a common sign, I guess you would say, logo for porn. And you got Mr. Wu in a sci-fi XXX movie. Pay attention to what you don't see. You have to pay attention. You have to look and listen. You got to study to see what's going on with this energy.
A member of K-pop group EXO. At least a dozen brands including Porsche and Bulgari had cut ties with Wu after the accusation, which have caused a social media storm in China. Chinese state media have indicated that Wu's celebrity status and foreign citizenship are unlikely to help his case. Foreign nationality is not a talisman. No matter how famous he is, there is no immunity. Whoever breaks the law will be punished by law, said the Communist Party-owned People's Daily on a social media posting on Saturday evening that referred to the case.
This just happened, look, so. Alright, so this just happened, look, so. Los Angeles rapper KR, real name Kalen Walker, was arrested on 9 counts of felony sexual assault last month. According to NBC Los Angeles, Walker was first taken into custody on September 11th by Los Angeles Police Department's Rampart Station detectives. He was then re-arrested on September 26th and has been in custody ever since. KR was arraigned on Tuesday, October 23rd, where he faced the numerous sexual assault allegations stretching back as far as 2016. The pop-out rapper would lure women to his apartment through social media. In each of the cases, aspiring models were contacted by Walker via social media with the premise of being hired to work professionally, according to the LAPD statement.
Listen, this is a national, actually an international pink slip that's happening right now. Just because you are pretty, cute, beautiful, gorgeous, does not mean you have to be a model, and you ought to want to aspire to be more than just that. There is more to you than just your face and your body and how you pose. A lot of the times you're going to be asked to be scantily clad and pose in scantily clad photos. Where do those photos go after you audition? How far are you willing to go to be a model, to be discovered? By whom? And once you are discovered, then what? This man used social media allegedly as his tool to lure and bait those who want to be an inspiring model. So you could actually become professional. And women answer daily. And that is how some women are sex trafficked.
While alone, each of the victims reported that Walker sexually assaulted them. According to the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department website, KR is being held at the Men's Central Jail in Los Angeles on a bail of $1.08 million. The 23-year-old's next court date is scheduled for November 14th. KR appeared in the Superfly remake earlier this year. There have also been other women on social media that have posted similar stories to the ones of his accusers. KR used to be part of the jerking group Marvel Inc., and they would post videos of themselves dancing in different parts of LA. He also had a budding music career and several music videos that hit over hundreds of thousands of views on YouTube. So what do you guys think? Is it over for KR? Or can he still make an impact in the acting and the music scene after all of this is said and done? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Make sure to hit that subscribe button.
We have more breaking news. Singer R. Kelly has just been charged with sexual abuse.
CBS News' Christy Fajardo joins us in studio now with the details. Christy.
Yeah, R&B singer R. Kelly is facing 10 counts of aggravated sexual abuse. The charges come after nearly 2 decades of accusations of abuse. Last Thursday, prosecutors in Chicago received a 45-minute video that said to show Kelly performing multiple sex acts with an underage girl. The girl is said to be 14 years old. The recording came from a person who worked for the 52-year-old singer. The man's lawyer, Michael Avenatti, says he worked for Kelly for decades and met the girl on several occasions. Kelly's first court date is scheduled for March 8th. The music star has repeatedly denied the accusations against him, and in 2008, he was acquitted of child pornography charges. In that case, a video allegedly showed Kelly having sex with a girl as young as 13 years old. We'll keep an eye on this story, and we'll bring you the latest. I'm Chrissy Fajardo. Let's send it back to you.
R. Kelly is facing new accusations of misconduct tonight. A young woman is suing him for failing to disclose a sexually transmitted disease that she claims Kelly gave her. The woman also accuses him of sexual battery. Jerika Duncan spoke with her.
Faith Rogers was 19 when she says she met R. Kelly after his concert in San Antonio last year. Rogers says they kept in touch over the phone for 2 months before Kelly invited her to New York City for his concert. She says he agreed to pay for her flight and hotel. The morning after the concert, she says Kelly knocked on her door.
He's like, take off your clothes. And he says it, with authority in his voice, not just, he's demanding me to do this. And I didn't take off my clothes because why would I? Just wasn't ready.
According to Rogers,
What?
she ultimately...
Wait a minute. Hold up. Take off your clothes. This is not a song, sir. Sir. Are you writing a song? It's the demand, it's the power, it's the arrogance, it's the celebrity status, it is the money, it is the nobody tells me no, it is the don't you know who I am, it is the what do I do because R. Kelly is telling me to take my clothes off, allegedly. What would you do if R. Kelly knocked on your door and told you to take your clothes off? Now, see, we heard this type of aggressive behavior before, but we heard it in a song with Teddy Pendergrass when he told you to turn off the lights. And then he told you to light a candle. Turn them off! And I bet you she ran and turned them off. Why? Because Teddy P told her to. And look how he told her to.
Submitted to having sex and alleges Kelly recorded it on his iPad without her consent.
Did you want to have sex with him?
No. He has this type of intimidation right off the bat, So I was just waiting for it to be over.
What happens after that? What sort of conversation did you guys have?
He comes over and he starts rubbing the side of my face. And he asked me how old I was. And I told him. And he's like, if you're really, 16, that you can tell daddy, right?
Rogers is...
Sir, I'd like to see the DNA test. For what? You said daddy. You're not my daddy. You can tell daddy if you're 16. It's okay. Ugh, gross. Ugh, that sexual energy is so predatory. It is so seething. It is so low. That is not intimacy. It is, gross. You can tell daddy. You're not my daddy. Let me explain something to you. Whoever I marry, I need you to know. But you already know because you're going to be a man that is you're going to be amazing. So I already know that you are never going to expect me to call you daddy because I never will.
Suing R. Kelly for sexual battery and willfully, deliberately, and maliciously infecting her with herpes. And she claims Kelly mentally, sexually...
Sir, and you have allegedly bumpy penis? Listen here. Listen here. Listen here, Crackle. We not finna do this, Crackle. You know you have herpes, and you are allegedly giving it to people? Not only that, you're recording stuff on your iPad, allegedly. That energy, listen to it, y'all. It's low, and it's not balanced, and it's unhealed. Oh, my gosh. Ugh.
And verbally abused her. She believes the now 51-year-old Kelly pursues teenage or underage girls and lures them into engaging in sex acts.
This has been the narrative for years. The narrative behind R. Kelly, allegedly, for years, y'all. For years.
Last month, Rogers filed a criminal complaint in Dallas, where she lives. She says under the advisement of police, she recorded a phone call with Kelly, hoping he would admit to knowingly giving her an STD.
But what about my situation? I don't know about no situation. I don't never talk about nothing to nobody on phone. I don't do that. I don't care what the situation is.
Why file the lawsuit? I want it for girls like me who are going to run into him in the future.
CBS News reached out to representatives.
Sis, you ain't got to worry about that. You don't have to worry about girls running into him in the future. I don't think he believes he can fly anymore. I don't think your body's going to be calling for him anymore. Ain't going to be no bump and grind. You won't be reminding him of his Jeep. I know the temperatures won't be rising. No, it doesn't seem like you're ready. You won't be ready. Because there ain't going to be no future. Nah, he's done. He won't be stepping in the name of love anytime soon.
For Kelly, who told us they have no comment on this new lawsuit and these new allegations. In a Washington Post article, though, in April, a representative for R. Kelly said the singer categorically denies all claims and allegations of sexual misconduct. Jeff?
Jerika Duncan continues her reporting on this story tonight. Jerika, thank you.
Disturbing video that police say shows NBA YoungBoy, the 18-year-old rapper whose really his career is blowing up. But if this video is what police believe it to be, I think he's in big trouble. But the video shows it's a hotel. It's a security camera in the hallway of a hotel in Georgia, Waycross, Georgia, and you're going to see coming out of the door here. That's his girlfriend.
Wow. This is
who, and police believe that's NBA YoungBoy. Yes,
yeah.
Definitely, Ray Rice.
Yeah.
But thrown to the ground, and she laid there for several seconds, and before she jumped up, and then he grabs her, pulls her back into the room, or tries to pull her back into the room.
Yeah, and you can tell that she does not want to be there.
No.
She's trying to escape. And we're told that a neighbor, hotel neighbor, had actually called down to security because he heard everything that was going on, and security called police. Somehow, YoungBoy and his girlfriend heard that police were on their way. They left the scene. So by the time cops got there, they weren't there anymore. Cops saw blood in the room. They saw the video footage, and it was enough to put out a warrant for his arrest.
Yeah, no kidding. Apparently, the girl has
She's
had to change her
basically
heart
trying
now.
to say that, no, we only play like this. This did not happen like that. This is what we do all the time.
This is, Raquel, so here's the girlfriend talking about the incident because she heard about the fact that police now want to arrest NBA YoungBoy. Right. This is her description of it, and I think this is a really sad part of the story.
I was pulling him. That's just us. That's how we like to play. And Kentrell always asks me, am I ready to go home? He always asks me, Nina, you ready to go home? I don't want to go home. I like being with him. So if I was being held under my will, wouldn't that mean that he's not asking me that? Kentrell asks me that all the time. Kidnap.
Kentrell, ma'am, sir, you were very honest about one thing. You don't want to go home, which is what I was hitting on. They don't want to go home. But the fighting and the violence and him throwing you to the ground and him asking you if you want to go home and you saying no, you want to be with him, you need a break. There's a break that needs to be had. And this goes back to the whole trauma bonding and not having your own identity because you don't want to be out of the energy and you don't want to be away from the entourage because you don't want anybody else to have him. You love Kentrell. And Kentrell is showing you that he wants you to go home. It's kind of like a flip question. It's like, you ready to go home? That's him saying, please go home. sisters, it's not worth it to try to rub shoulders and to hang on into any relationship, whether it be high profile or not, until you learn to have your own identity. You're going to always be in karmic situations, and you're going to always be karmic.
No, nobody getting kidnapped. Has he ever put his hands on me? No. Do we play a lot? Yeah, we 18.
Well, that was
Well,
not
there
playing.
She's actually 17, but
she's 17, he's 18. Kentrell, we should say Kentrell is NBA Youngboy's real name.
We should say one thing, that there are...
What in the Fair East Side 17, ma'am? What in the continuation high school is going on here? Where's your mama and them? Daddy? Like, where's, we 18. We 18, so we throw each other's against the wall. We 18, so, you know, we be kicking each other in the face and stuff. That's just how we play and shit. No, we 18. We be throwing each other out the window and shit. That's how we play. We 18. We 18. No, we 18. So we be throwing each other inside of volcanoes and shit. No, that's what we do. The fuck? Get the fuck out of here with this. Lord, a lot of growth, a lot of mentorship, a lot of stuff needs to be had, because there are so many people, both male and female, that need a lot of help. A lot of help. Because they 18.
A lot of cases that go through the system where a woman who gets brutalized says, I don't want to press charges, nothing happened. And even without video, a lot of these cases still get prosecuted and they get convictions. When there's video, you know, even if they say this, you know, it's going to be up to a jury if they end up filing charges.
I mean, that sounds
but that
like
just looks
textbook.
absolutely
You know what?
brutal.
It sounds
by
like
the look of
textbook
it, it
battered
looks
wife
horrific.
sex.
It looks horrible. It looks horrible.
But the situation has it right. I mean, one, she's 17 years old. Two, I think she's in a situation that everybody was coming after her, because this is the same girl who was kicked outside of a hotel room prior to the situation, right? And everybody was talking down about her, like, oh, calling her names and how dumb she is, and this and that. So that's the case of the situation.
I think the saddest thing about that is when she's talking, even when like the words that are coming out of her mouth, you see how young she is. She sounds like a baby. She sounds like a little kid.
Right.
And the fact that her mind is already being twisted into this posture where she thinks anything that happened in that video is okay is really, really defeating and very, very troubling. It's depressing in a way.
It's depressing, but you know what? In some ways, thank God there's a video, because
regardless of what she says.
Yeah, this
By the way,
cannot be.
I don't think we mentioned yet, he was arrested. So right after they left the hotel, he had a concert later that night in Tallahassee, which is only a few hours from where they were in Georgia. He was supposed to be performing, but ended up getting arrested for a kidnapping charge and felony assault. So he went to jail. Terrible mugshot. I mean, no word if his girlfriend was actually there, but he definitely wasn't able to make his concert.
Yeah.
Billy from Dallas, Texas. Look.
The United States is in the grip of a sexual abuse crisis, from Hollywood to the White House, and now the Supreme Court. High-profile men have been forced to explain historical allegations of sexual misconduct. Does America suffer from an insidious rape culture? The term rape culture was first coined by American feminists in the 1970s, amid growing concern that it was becoming normalized. It fosters the idea of blame to disempower victims.
It's already very hard for people to come forward to begin with, and we already have a culture of victim blaming, and people are really afraid to talk about things that happen to them.
The most recent example is Brett Kavanaugh's appointment to the US Supreme Court. The judge was accused of carrying out a number of sexual offenses during the 1980s.
I believed he was going to rape me. I tried to yell for help. When I did, Brett put his hand over my mouth to stop me from yelling.
Kavanaugh denied the allegations. And at a rally in Mississippi, President Trump mocked Christine Blasey Ford's account of the alleged attack.
How did you get home? I don't remember. How'd you get there? I don't remember. Where is the place? I don't remember. How many years ago was it? I don't know.
Is this discreditation of a rape allegation an example of a deeper problem? The president himself is facing accusations of sexual misconduct by at least 15 women. The Harvey Weinstein scandal in Hollywood last year sparked the Me Too movement and called time on the silencing of rape victims. But has anything really changed? The rate of reported sexual assault in the United States has fallen 63% since 1993. But still today, 1 out of every 6 women in America say they have experienced rape or attempted rape in their lifetime. In the 1980s, American films such as Fast Times at Ridgemont High celebrated the rape and objectification of women and linked it to the frat boy culture of American high schools and universities. A judge in California recently granted the early release of Brock Turner, convicted of a sexual attack. He was a former swimming star at Stanford University.
Brock maintained that what we like to call rape was in fact an innocent mistake, blaming it on the alcohol and promiscuity. And Judge Persky decided to take his word for it.
The young man's father argued his son's future shouldn't be compromised by what he described as 20 minutes of action. The accusations facing Brett Kavanaugh highlight a bigger issue than just the Supreme Court nomination. It raises questions over America's handling of sex abuse allegations, both historical and present. Is the US legal system designed to protect abusers from their past actions? What about the victims? And what are the implications for society?
Someone is pinching.
Internet out front, weeknights at 7, only on CNN.
Ryan and Dean, you're both sitting here shaking your head when I said it's a bad song. You're rolling your eyes at me. There's a second version of this video where the women are all naked.
Seen it.
Okay, yeah, I'm sure you have seen it.
I'm doing research before I come on.
Oh, yeah, right,
I didn't enjoy it.
I'm sure. Okay. So, the things continue here. I know you want it, but you're a good girl. I know you want it. I'm not going to read all the words. They get much more
graphic,
direct than that. Is this promoting rape?
Honestly, I don't think so at all. And I would not joke around at all if it was. I'm involved with the group that counters domestic violence against women. I think it's playful. I think it's the song. It's upbeat and catchy, and it's fun. Sure, it degrades women a little bit. Yes, Robin Thicke even admitted that in an interview to GQ last month. But if you watch True Blood, the guy who plays the werewolf, his shirt is off every scene. So I think not degrading men there. I mean, it goes both ways. Sex sells. And if this was at all advocating rape or violence against women, I would be outspoken against it.
Brian, what is this wide-eyed, innocent doe look you're giving me?
Look, I mean, this song, and when you see the video, so there's a man with a syringe who appears to be injecting the syringe into a woman's bottom. There's a woman holding a lamb affectionately in her arms, as though the lamb is possibly her lover. This song is about fantasy. It's about role play. It's incredibly bizarro.
Whoa, and now you're talking about having sex with lambs.
Dude. This song is nutso. That's the whole point of it. It's a kind of grand guignol of role play and craziness.
Wow, okay.
It's totally weird. And the thing is that's one of the delights of our culture. The idea is that you have the normal way one lives, and then you have musicians, artists, and others who actually realize a fantasy life for us. And that's part of why songs like this can be fun and entertaining and why they become viral. So I think that, you need to have a space for fantasy and play in our culture.
All right. I like you used weird. I would just use deviant, but okay.
Sure.
Stephanie,
deviant is fair.
Stephanie, a blogger writes on a website, Feminist in LA, the majority of the song has the R&B singer murmuring, "I know you want it," over and over into a girl's ear. Call me a cynic, but that phrase does not exactly encompass the notion of consent in sexual activity. Seriously, this song is disgusting, though admittedly very catchy. What's your take? And by the way, let's just put it out here. Number one on the Billboard 100 means a lot of teenagers and kids are listening.
Erin, I got your back on this topic, sister. Are two friends there, Dean and Rehan, running for Republican Congress, or what's happening? Are we discussing degrees of rapiness now? I mean, really, if this was a legitimate song about rape, would a woman's ears have a way of shutting that whole thing down? I mean, I think it's offensive. Erin, I don't know if you saw the one thing where the guy blows smoke in her face and she goes like this, and then he says, "You know you want it." I'm like, really? I want cancer from secondhand smoke? I just don't know it because it has such a catchy tune? I mean, I think it's offensive.
Last but not least, New York-based rapper and activist Mysonne was arrested over the weekend, but the reason he was arrested is why he's getting a win. The incident occurred in front of the U.S. Supreme Court on Saturday while protesting Brett Kavanaugh's nomination. Prior to being arrested, he gave an interview that went viral about rape culture and the responsibility that men have to stand up to it. Mysonne explained that Kavanaugh's nomination signifies the normalization of sexual assault, man. I like Mysonne a lot. A couple years ago, he had an amazing speech at the Million Man March. I became a fan in that moment. So right now, I want to go ahead and give Mysonne the win of the week, and here is why. He has been a man on a mission. It started several years ago, but like a la Meek Mill, he saw something that he wanted to change, and he wanted to change the narrative of what it means to be a black man within the hip-hop culture. And so he continues to do that work, and it's a beautiful thing.
That is definitely dope, man. I love seeing men stand up for women's rights. Mysonne, hold the win this week.
A crime alert tonight. Men make that animals slipping women new drugs for sexual assaults. And you're going to be shocked to see how easy they are to get.
That's right. Date rape drugs have been around for a while now, but as Elise Coulter tells us, she's uncovered a disturbing new trend and has this warning for all women.
It's a national statistic. 75% of sexual assaults involve some sort of substance. But what that substance is changing.
We don't see that much GHB in the kind of typical what you hear about date rape drugs.
Turns out what the Miami Valley Crime Lab is seeing are drugs that are most commonly found in your bathroom, like Visine and Benadryl.
Vicodin, Xanax, benzodiazepine class, or more of what we see when we get samples for a date rape investigation.
The question is, why these drugs?
It's the sedating effect, and it can, by combining them, can develop rapidly symptoms, so people aren't aware that it's happening until they're either intoxicated or unable to really control themselves.
Anytime you deal with sexual violence, you feel violated.
Sandy Hunt is the director for the county's Victims Advocate and works with the victims of sexual assault. She's seen the pattern of changing date rape drugs for years.
Most drugs are odorless and colorless, and you may not even recognize that someone's put something in your drink.
Which makes it even scarier for women who've been raped.
They feel not only sexually violated, but the trust has been violated, and that takes a long time to heal from.
But the crime lab doesn't see the abuse of everyday drugs being used to violate women stopping anytime soon.
Availability is one of the issues, just like we see in the heroin epidemic. What's on the street is what we see being used.
Reporting in Dayton, Elise Coulter, Fox 45 News.
We're forced.
Sometimes you don't know who you're sleeping with. Sometimes you don't even know what you're getting yourself into. All you know is that you have to have it, and you have to have it right now. The latest episode of the Suspense Files on the Sister Speak Show is available on demand now. On this episode, we're covering sex and murder, sleeping with the setup chick. Rated R for strong content and language. On the Suspense File, we cover the who, the what, the when, the where, and the why in urban crime. From crimes of passion, deadly relationships, mysteries, and urban cold cases, and more. You won't be disappointed. On the Sister Speak Show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action, a talk show for great minds that create, inspire, impact, and evolve. Click the link for the latest episode. And be careful. Murder, mystery, intrigue, suspense, all of the elements that make up the Suspense Files on the Sister Speak Show. And the latest episode is available on demand now. On this episode, Expelled, No One Will Tell, Murder in the Student Body. On the Suspense Files, we are covering the who, what, when, where, why in urban crime. From deadly relationships to urban cold cases and more. For all shades of brown people, this episode is rated R for strong language, thoughts, and ideas. It's time to click the link and podcast and chill with the Sister Speak Show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action, a talk show for great minds that create, inspire, impact, and evolve. If no one tells, someone may get away with murder. Are you going to let that happen? We'll see. When it comes to being a rap lyricist, What sets you apart is your ability to be able to freestyle on demand. If you can't freestyle, you can't rap. The latest episode of the Tour on the Sister Speak show is available on demand now. In this episode, beatdowns versus bars, when freestyle battles turn violent. Rated R for strong content and language. On the tour, we cover all aspects of the music industry, focusing on musicians, managers, songwriters, producers, music groups, DJs, with exclusive music as well as concert reviews and IG Live concerts and interviews. On the Sister Speak show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action. A talk show for great minds that create, inspire, impact, and evolve. Go ahead and click the link for the latest episode. You've made it to the last part of the test, the season of drought, and you survived. You're going to pass this test. You're going to climb the mountain, because on the other side of the mountain is peace, joy, tranquility, harmony, freedom. No longer are you going to have to be frustrated, wondering when is it going to happen? When is my breakthrough going to come? When is what I believe in going to manifest? How long do I have to sit here in hermit mode? How long do I have to sit here and pretend? Not much longer. You might as well go ahead and start getting your praise on now, because permanent overflow is coming. You're closer to it than you think. Welcome back. You are listening to the Tour on the Sister Speak show, covering all aspects of the music industry. That's what we do on the tour. You listen to the clips. I am really pleased with the research that I did to give you all something to listen to hear it for yourself, to hear it without being a fan, but to just hear it being a human, to hear it being in a high vibration, listening to it and knowing that what you heard, the allegations, if they are true, that there is a problem. If they are not true, then there is a problem as well. The issue I'm having is the concoctions, the pills, as I mentioned before, and the willingness to go. It's the willingness to go. There's no stranger danger. Stranger danger is not something, that is for children. It's for God's children. And that speaks within itself. You have to be aware, and we're not talking about, you're not, entertaining an angel and when you entertain angels unaware, we're not talking about that. We're talking about you are entertaining entities and energies and demons that work through some of these celebrities. The willingness to go. Come on and go with me. Come on over to my place. I don't feel like being alone tonight. I need some company. And you look like the type that's bored and whose spirits are running free. Are your spirits running free? Are you so bored that you're going to keep somebody company and end up having to hear them tell you to take your clothes off and turn them off and to turn off the lights? Are you willing, to be able to say the next day that you had this experience with said celebrity? I know that you think you're special. I mean, that's what the influence is supposed to make you feel like, but you're not in that regard. They give zero fucks about any fantasy that you're having. You are their fantasy, which means you do how they want you to do and not the other way around. And that is what the rule is. When you get on that bus, that tour bus, when you go into that hotel room or when you go over to that house or to that studio, you are at their command. And don't forget it. The L's that our sisters are taking behind being fans, groupies, not fans, groupies, and just wilding all the way out is astronomical. There's the L's that make it to the platform, to social media, and then there's the L's that we don't know about, but they still exist. And you take a L when you go, because you may be thinking one thing, that because this is a celebrity that they're not going to harm you, put you in danger, betray you, because there's so much in the public eye that there's too much to risk, so you think you're safe because this is such and such. No, not at all. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against spiritual wickedness in principalities, high places. It's an energy. You can get as many BBLs as you want to. You can get a BBL, a CCL, a DDL, a TTL, a PPL. It don't matter how many you get. You can get all of them at the beginning of the day when they want you to get off of the tour bus. You're getting off. At the beginning of the day when you go, no matter how fine you are, curvaceous you are or not, no matter how sexually appealing you are, you run the risk of possibly having to press charges. Is that worth it? Or was that the game from the get-go? Because there's two sides. There's two sides. There's a flip side, I should say, to it. There's the con artists. There's the ones who do the baiting. There's the ones who create the scene for the sexual assault, who create a fraudulent situation or, bait it for themselves to where they can come out with some type of compensatory gain. Money. $28 million is a lot. That woman had about 15 side effects that happened as a result, allegedly, of her encounter with Chris Breezy. There are some women who scam and lie and falsify allegations and still end up with a settlement. Chasing the money by any means. Putting yourself in a predicament to gain, the slip and fall mentality. There's a premeditated energy that comes with being in the same room with a celebrity. Some sisters know exactly what they're doing in order to be placed in the room, and some of you are placed there by the devil. It goes deep in this music industry. It's not just about listening to the radio and dancing. So much goes on behind the scenes. And with the development of the underground world of sex pills, not sex pills, but sex drugs, to hypnotize you, to make you delirious, to make you pass out. There's more. There's been more that has been developed. You listen to the clip. There was that last part I wasn't going to interrupt because I wanted you to listen to it because there was a lot that was being exposed. But that's the wickedness of it. I know that I shouldn't be with this person. I know that what I'm getting ready to do is wrong. And I know that they would not willingly do it. So I'm going to take away their will and make them involuntarily have sex with me. or us. And I don't know what was, if in fact they did wake up with sore vaginas, and if in fact they woke up with blood coming from their genitals, but sore genitals and bleeding genitals. What I do know is that if it is true, what was going on while they were knocked out? You have to be pretty sick and fucking twisted. I don't give a fuck how many hit songs you have. I don't give a fuck who you are, what you got going on. Your power versus y'all. Yeah. The winning team, I'm on. And my team has more power than the team you're on and who you run with. If in fact these allegations are true, if this in fact is what y'all do, and people are waking up not knowing what the fuck happened, knowing all they know is that they had some Suge Avery pee, and then after drinking the Suge Avery pee, they are waking up with sexual trauma to their genitals, what are you doing? Sick and twisted. It's the unseen. It is very disturbing, and you can't look past it and ignore it, because we're talking about people feeling like they can get away with it and getting away with it. That's a sexual energy. That is a sexual predator, if in fact that happened. That's why the Most High God really cautioned us not to be idol worshipers, to look at people as they are, to not fan the fuck out when you come across somebody who has an elevated status, doing too much for the fame, doing too much just to have their baby or to be a part of the entourage. It's idol worship. And then having a status and thinking that you can get away with it. It's just like, we ought to praise Yah that we mature and that we grow. You should listen to the lyrics of some song, of the songs, excuse me, that you used to rock out to, when you were younger, because I know I have caught some stuff. I was like, whoa. And it's like, it's on you, Ayana. Excuse me, it's on you, Sister Speak, if you choose to continue to, rock out with this song, but you heard the lyric. You heard it. And they say it's for entertainment purposes, but I'm like, how the fuck am I entertained by listening to that bullshit? Like, you think that bullshit that my soul, my spirit can only be entertained by bullshit, by sexual suggestions, the lyrics, speaking about Robin Thicke's Blurred Lines. They were saying like listen to it, and then you look at the imagery of the video, and you have to ask yourself, what are we saying here? Why is he saying this? Why is this a song? Why is this okay? What is going on behind closed doors? There's not enough paper towel, 409, mops, Swiffers, nothing, Brillo pads, Ajax that you can use to try to clean up what we see. And they will throw it right in front of your eyes. And if you are not aware of signs and symbols and colors and imagery and just certain things, you'll miss everything. Only the dumb people say that what we see is not what we're seeing. Only the ones who want to keep pushing that fucked off agenda that leads to sexual misconduct in the music industry and abroad. There are people who want to continue to push a negative agenda when it comes to sex. And there are people who have to have it. Have to have it. And will do anything to get it. It is a real addiction. And there are different levels of the addiction. And when you hear the word addiction, unless you are willing to be made whole, you can shun away from that word. You can shun the word, you want to try to find another, almost a synonym for the word, because the word addiction is heavy. It's a heavy word. It's a word that it's a real word about a real thing. And it is a direct word to describe that thing. And a lot of people don't want to talk about an addiction or say that that is what it is that they have. And when you put the word sexual addiction in front, oh my goodness, it's automatic denial, because nobody wants to be found out. Nobody wants to be found out that this is what's plaguing them. Some people don't want to go where it started. It's too painful. It's too much. There are some men who don't want to deal with the sexual trauma that they have encountered because it was same-sex trauma. They don't want to talk about it. They were told not to say anything as a child. And for a lot of them, there's still a child in that energy. And predators are good for saying a lot of threatening things to intimidate a child. Sometimes that predator is a family member. We all know, the predator can be anybody, but the sexual addiction has a root. And getting to the root is something that they don't want to do. Some of them. And there is if you would, almost the springboard that launches many attacks on themselves and others. And the devil knows. He knows what you really don't need. He knows that giving these things to you, you'll fuck up. You'll misuse them. You'll abuse them. You will hurt other people with them. You'll destroy not only yourself, but others. He knows what to put inside of your specific wrecking ball. Your triggers. And then you end up with the sexual assault allegations. The cautionary tales about fame. The public court. The private court. The spiritual court. And you ask yourself, guilty or not guilty? We all have listened to their music, and we still don't know these people. You only know their career. It's just like if you go to work. They only know the work you, or they should only know the work you. There has to be some type of boundary and some type of discretion about who you are. Okay? It can't be that everything is on the table, but we only know a certain part of them. People know the work you, right? They know the conservative corporate you, the articulate you. And then when you clock out and get in your car, this is you. I'm just saying. So we don't know what we don't know what these people got going on, y'all, behind closed doors, but we know they've got something going on. Rick James, let me turn this down. Rick James had a party, and they were in the house for days. days. All kind of stuff going on in the party. All kind of stuff going on in the party. And yet and still, people were still coming over. But you would never have known. I would have never known that about Ricky. I would not have known what I knew about the alleged parties that took place if I had not watched the documentary. You never know what somebody has going on. But the mixture of drugs, the low vibrating energy, the unhealed trauma, the unhealthy sex education, the addictions, lack of spirituality and a high vibration is a deadly cocktail. And if you're not careful, you may enter and may not come out. You have to be careful about fame. It's a cautionary tale about fame. Your money, your status, your power. If you abuse it, that shit's gonna backfire on you in a way that you never saw coming. You can't have it your way. You cannot call shots and think you are just the supreme shot caller. And I think that's what a lot of celebrities think. They think that they are the supreme shot caller, and you're not. There should never be any sexual assault allegations. And that's bottom fucking line. We've got to tame our wild desires because they lead us into the unpromised land. They lead us back to Egypt, not to Canaan. Music is a serious, serious energy. There is a time and a place for entertainment, but it has to be with boundaries. And I think that we all need to start listening to these songs and listening to what they've been saying this entire time and suggesting. And then you need to ask yourself, why would an industry suggest these type of behaviors and allow these type of lyrics to penetrate the atmosphere and be available for anyone to hear? What is the agenda? And then you have to ask yourself, what is past this man being so fine? What is past this man looking good, dressing good, having the power and the status? What's really behind his eyes? What's in his soul? Who is he really? Not being able to tell somebody no because you're intimidated. That's a compromising position to be in, especially when under normal circumstances, if any nigga comes to you and says take your clothes off, the fuck? Excuse you? In that manner? Now that ain't hot. I'm not turned on. I'm not. Ain't nothing flowing. We can't even dance in the sheets because you ruined all of that. You ruined all of our groove that we could have had because you came at me on that extra shit. I don't bow down to anybody. And when you are a woman pursuing men of the night, That makes you a woman of the night. I don't know what these deals are behind closed doors with these married couples, but that marriage bed is defiled. It is filthy. You can wash it in Tide, All, Gain, Downy, Ivory. It doesn't matter. You need to throw the whole bed away. I don't ever want to be in a position where I have to make a deal with my husband about our sexual fantasies and I have to do this or that because you're going to do it anyway. That's a lifeless marriage. If you are the victim of any type of sexual assault, any type of sexual disrespect, harassment, if you've been molested, being sexually abused, you don't have to be quiet. You don't have to live with it. You have to get through it and heal. The healing is a process, but it is achievable with patience, self-forgiveness, determination, tenacity, and diligence. It's going to require you to be a warrior and to mount up. You have a right to protect your body and to say no. The thing is, sisters, I'm speaking to you specifically, you're going to have to be celibate. The moment you decide to be celibate, you're able to have your desires that are low, that suggest that you should be out here busting it wide open, being a thought pocket, that you will be conservative about your body. Celibacy is a power that grants you access to levels. It gives you the ability to achieve some things and to withstand the wiles of the enemy because you are celibate, which means you have no desire to be in a hotel room with Nelly, Deli, Telly, Selly, Melly, Kelly. It doesn't matter. Zelly. It doesn't matter who it is. You're not even going to put yourself in that environment because you're healed. You're celibate. You're cleansing. That sexual energy requires self-control because, I mean, of course, we have a vagina. Well, well, women have a vagina, men have a penis. So obviously we're supposed to come together at some point, but the point that we come together is supposed to be divine. It's not supposed to be chaotic. It's not supposed to be coerced. It's not supposed to be contaminated. It's not supposed to be calloused. It's not supposed to be cactusy. It's not supposed to be any of that. It's a divine union that we're supposed to have. But this world, society says, keep fucking. Keep losing. Keep giving up your energy. Keep catching STDs. Keep learning. Keep being intimidated. Keep letting people cross your boundaries. Keep being a groupie. Keep being arrogant. Keep abusing your power. Keep destroying. That's what I do, and that's what I'm making you do. Forcing you to do. Some of you it's just so like night. It's just so easy to do. To be wicked. Yeah, I'm a celebrity and I can do what the fuck I want to do. Do you know who I am? Do you know? Obviously, you don't either. If you're asking me, what the fuck? Are you having a memory loss, amnesia? No, I don't know who the fuck you are by flesh, but I know by spirit you're a demon. I don't bow down to anybody. And some of you celebrities have made yourselves to be gods, and that's a problem. But you're a false god, and that's a real problem. Social media, sisters, some of the pictures that you take, you are asking for the disrespect. You're asking for the fake love. You're asking for the fake attention. And you are putting yourself in a position to be viewed as accessible and easy. And then you have the nerve to come with a whole quote talking about you can post whatever you want to and that it's your body and God blessed you with it and all this other type of stuff. God never told you to be a Jezebel. So don't go lying on God. God didn't tell you to be a whore. He didn't. He didn't tell none of us to do that. He told the woman at the well to go sin no more and to run and tell them. No, seriously. You don't want him to get off in your business. Because when the Lord gets off in your business, it's real shit. He don't play no games. So a lot of the pictures that some of you sisters are taking, you are putting you look horrible. You know, it's just like, look at my ass for the 35th time. Look at me for the 100th time. And it's like you're giving out that vibe. Okay, after you get the celebrity and after you get flued out, then what? I just really want my sisters to really pull back from um, that energy of being scantily clad in a whorish manner. And then trying to have an innocent look in your eyes, but you know, we need to stop because a lot of the times you are sought after by some of these celebrities based on the pictures that you post. And next thing you know, 3 weeks later, you're on the shade room talking about, it is your baby. Or you caught him lacking. Or now, because things didn't go your way, you're filing a sexual assault charge. Or because things didn't go his way or things went his way, you're filing a sexual assault charge. I had to think about that. It's real in the field, brothers and sisters. The time has been well spent. I thank you all for being a wonderful listening audience. This is a cautionary tale about fame. Be very careful about fame. Enter at your own risk. I desire not to be famous. I desire to be elevated in my status with a righteous path of success, one that benefits the kingdom, one that does not tear the kingdom down or suggest that, one that benefits, yeah, well, I guess I was saying that right, and also one that benefits the village, one that does not tear the village down, but one that helps clean up the litter. Community service is for those who are in prison, and my brothers and sisters, we are in prison, a spiritual prison, when we need to do our community service. We need to have good behavior so we can be granted parole. I don't think a lot of us understand just because you don't see the bars doesn't mean that they're not there. Excuse me, just because you don't see the bars doesn't mean that they're not there. A lot of us need to change up everything about ourselves and start having good behavior so we can be granted parole. And understanding that with parole comes a halfway house, that there's no need to automatically assimilate back into the world, but to go to a halfway house where you can even be more equipped to properly assimilate back into the world, because you have been ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. You don't want to play with the Sister Speak show. It's real. It's real conversation. Our people are in prison, whether you see the bars or not. And we are being haunted by these sexual incubus, succubus demons, the Jezebel spirit, the whore and whoremongering spirits. At the beginning of the day, there should never be a sexual assault allegation. And you celebrities need to know that. And you who desire to be in that energy and a part of the entourage, you need to know that too. We'll be right back after these commercial breaks. Get it off your chest, brothers and sisters, with the latest episode of the Vent Session on the Sister Speak Show. Episode 4, Don't Join the Circus. In this episode, boundaries, cutting people off who keep dominating you. Boosie, he said what he said. What's the next question? Solo shifts, I won't be able to meet any of your expectations. Driving, why is your license cutting up in school? Lace Candy, in love with the enemy. There are other episodes available on demand on the Vent Session. You will enjoy each one because we want to be the flavor in your ear. Each episode is rated R for strong content, language, and thoughts for all shades of brown people. It's time to podcast and chill with the Sister Speak Show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action. Click the link for the latest episode. You just took playing That's My Car to a whole nother level. The latest episode of the Tour on the Sister Speak Show is available on demand now. Rated R for strong content, language, and thoughts. On this episode, Jackin' for More Than Beats, the effects of GTA and rap music, confessing to crimes over beats, lyrics leading to arrest. On the tour, we're covering all aspects of the music industry, including interviews with musicians, managers, songwriters, producers, music groups, DJs, and exclusive music and concert reviews. Either you're playing the video game or the video game is playing you. Click the link for the latest episode on the Sister Speak Show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action, a talk show for great minds that create, inspire, impact, and evolve. Be careful. Brotherhood, sisterhood, leadership. Those are the qualities that you were looking for when you were joining, not humiliation. The latest episode of The Culture Climate on the Sister Speak Show is available on demand now. Rated R for strong content, language, and thoughts. On this episode, death before degree, hazing in fraternities and sororities. On The Culture Climate, we're covering what others are afraid to cover in the village, including controversial conversations, taboo subject matters, addressing the inner me's, exposing the enemies, interviews, audio from video clips, international, national, local news affecting the village. Click the link for the latest episode on the Sister Speak Show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action, a talk show for great minds that create, inspire, impact, and evolve. Remember, you don't have to die to belong. There are some gender reveals that reveal more than just the gender. They can reveal the agenda of a predator. The latest episode of The Suspense Files is available on demand now. The insanity that rocks the cradle. The pregnancy predator. On The Suspense Files, we're covering the who, what, when, where, why in urban crime, including crimes of passion, deadly relationships, mysteries, urban cold cases, and more. Click the link in the bio for the latest episode on the Sister Speak Show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action. Rated R for strong content, thoughts, and ideas. It's time to podcast and chill with the Sister Speak Show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action. A talk show for great minds that create, inspire, impact, and evolve. Welcome back. You are listening to the Sister Speak Show, the tour where we cover all aspects of the music industry. The time has well been spent. Brothers and sisters, I thank you for being a wonderful listening audience. I said what I mean, and I mean what I say. I return to sender all negative energy, all demonic energy, all black magic, all spell work, all voodoo. It has an adverse effect in your bosom immediately. It boomerangs into your entire energy field. All demonic activity, I return to sender. It is not welcome in my energy field. It's not welcome in my listening audience's energy field. We are warriors, so we mount up. And we tell you, Satan, to get thee behind us. The Lord is my rock, my fortress and my deliverer, my God, my rock, in whom I take refuge, my shield and the horn of my salvation, my stronghold. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. The devil is already defeated. Know that.